This is the 911 Calls podcast with the operator and his exact twin, minus being born and raised in Kentucky and his heroic military service and being born to a completely other mother, Kent Chungus.
His whole hand is completely sliced open. He needs ambulance right away.
I'm sorry to start with laughter.
It's weird because nobody said anything. And then you started.
Well, I was just coming in off the uncut that we just did, which, by the way,
We did it 10 minutes ago.
It's part of the uncut, and you're hearing the uncut for free because if you're like, oh my gosh, these uncuts are amazing, you go to 1159plus.com and get more uncuts. I don't know.
Yeah, but you started laughing. I'm confused because we started the episode, and whenever you started laughing, but nobody had said anything, it was like there was a lull. You're like, okay, you're ready to start the episode. And then you started laughing, and then you hit record, and then you came in.
Yeah, I was trying to break the fourth wall. Like, people are like, what is that laughter about? Is it about the uncut that I haven't ever subscribed to? And then they're like, they're probably.
Yeah, but that one wasn't even that good.
Are you paused? They might be paused right now, not even hearing this, going and paying our bills on 1159plus.com. Oh, if you're like, I don't know if I can afford 1159 plus, that's fine, because we're also going to open the store here soon again for the summer, and you'll be able to find that too on 1159media.com. Ah, man, there's so many ways for us to generate revenue. And anyway, we're here. This is the actual episode, the free part of the episode. Hopefully you listen to the uncut. Coming up, actually, well, I don't want to give too much away. So hey, Kent.
You don't even know. Hey!
All right. As per usual, we're rolling right into context-specific information, questions, details about that. There's just going to line right up. You're going to find it. So first thing I wanted to talk about really quick was medieval times.
Yeah, I thought. Fortunately, I had planned for this, so hit me with it.
This is, I don't know, whatever the word means that says this is relevant to the case, the case we're covering. But, you know, in the wars that you watch on TV, in the medieval wars, they're like, yeah, and the blood, and then the guy just like bonk down on the ground, dies.
Yes.
You've watched enough horrible videos and gore and stuff. How quickly does someone normally die when they are stabbed?
Like in reality?
Yeah.
It's a slow, drawn-out process.
Yeah.
Where they kick on the ground and hold the wound and bleed everywhere. It takes, depending on where you're hit at, it could take 30 minutes.
Yeah. Imagine the medieval scene now. Like, or this one. When you cut somebody's throat, if you don't go all jihadi on them.
Yeah.
How do they just go, and die?
No.
Imagine the sound of filling a balloon with pudding after it's been blown up, and then just let that pudding kind of come out with the air. That's what it sounds like for like an excruciatingly way too long of a period of time when somebody gets their throat cut.
Yes.
For anyone that's wondering, well, I've never experienced that, I've never heard it. Think of think of water that's been poured inside of your rebreather on a scuba tank.
It's also what a sucking chest wound sounds like. A lot of gunshot wounds to the chest if they hit the lung.
Anyway, the reason I brought that up is now fast forward, rewind to the medieval times and think about like a battle that actually took place where everybody was sworded or axed or poked with a dull blade. The next day, that scene is still like moving.
Yeah. Everybody's still not dead.
Yeah, they're still not. They're rolling around, and there's a couple guys that may or may not make it that are like army crawling off of a battlefield. There's probably a whole contingent of people that quote unquote won who are just kind of going through and they're just kind of stabbing people one more time to, make sure that it does not happen quickly. Those scenes play. And then also because everybody was like open wounded kind of death, the stench after a week had to have been just unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. And I don't know what they did back then. Did they just leave them there?
Good question. I mean, there are places where we've found like piles of bodies in a grave. Yeah. But for the most part, I don't know. Also, the map would be sort of like the map of San Francisco, where it's like currently there's a map app where you can see where the poop is. So you can either avoid it or report it to the government and they'll come and clean it up.
Oh, that's nice. What a beautiful city.
Yeah. It's so kind of them. But I think medieval times is probably like that. They're like, thou canst not go to the southeast corner of Anastasia for the next 6 months because it's unbearable. Until the vermin have, taken care of all the bodies and stuff. It probably just catch a south wind from a battlefield. Oh, gross. Anyway, this is relevant. Yeah, I wanted to mention a couple things about the bummers of being stabbed in medieval times. So one would have been obviously lack of hygiene.
To say the bummers of being stabbed in medieval.
Yeah.
I would say just either of those two things are a bummer.
Yeah.
Like being stabbed, I would call being stabbed a bummer.
Yeah.
But also not even being stabbed, just being in medieval times.
Yeah.
Was a bummer. But being stabbed in medieval times?
Yeah.
That's a double bummer, man.
So let me give you a visual on what a double bummer this would be. So most swords were in a scabbard, and the scabbard dangled kind of at a 20-degree cant off of your hip, which means that a long sword would hit the ground from time to time. And if you're walking through the streets of any normal medieval small village, they're not paved. Also that the roads are covered in horse poop and human poop.
So your scabbard's always just dragging in horse shit.
Yeah. The tip of your sword is always just ba-dunk-a-dunk-a-dunk, dip, 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 dip. It's like the worst Dairy Queen cone you've ever seen. And then they go to battle and then they just insert it into a torso. That sucks.
And I don't know how much you know about medieval times, and I don't know a lot, but I know that
I've eaten there.
We didn't have the best antibiotics.
No.
I think the antibiotics at the time was like you put a bunch of newborn babies' teeth in a jar and then pissed in it.
Yeah. And crossed your fingers. As long as the king wasn't watching, because you weren't supposed to cross your fingers back then. Yeah, imagine like it's a week later, you come to, and the doctor's like, we're hoping you're going to make it, sir. We just extracted more corn from your wound. Because of corn.
We've just applied the leeches to your forehead.
You thought you got banged.
Even though the wound's in your abdomen.
How about this one? No anesthesia. No one was named Anastasia back then.
Yeah.
Weird. Moving on. The medicine, like you said, was primitive. They would do the dumbest things to try to heal you. Like they'd bleed you from the forehead or the head area, thinking that you had too much blood.
You've been bleeding gratuitously, and we figured we'd make an opening at your foot, and we could beat the wound to it. If we got your blood out this way, it couldn't bleed out anymore up there.
Yeah, like you're just a tank. It's like, well, it's the 3/4 full. Start at the bottom.
In order to stop the bleeding, we need to begin more bleeding.
Exactly. Weirdest thing. Like if all your job was to pick the opposite of what would work, that's what they did. They literally. Okay, so imagine this. So, like, movies show you decisive battle won and, we lost half of our army. Now, back then, they did the math. They're like, we lost half of the army in the battle, and they know they're going to lose another 20% of them over the next 3 weeks as, like, they're all sitting in camp, drinking ale and just dying of infections. Inaccurate diagnosis was, was also like, what the heck?
You're laying there with a... missing an arm, and it appears you've got black lung.
Yeah.
There's also this arm thing. Start the bleeding.
Start the bleeding. Oh, man. It was definitely experimental times. It was sort of like the 80s with music, It was like every doctor had his own weird synthesizer. You're like, what's that? And he's like, I made it. Prolonged recovery was obviously a thing. Like, you could really 1-2 punch a kingdom or something if you hit them hard and then hit them like 2 weeks later because all their men are still in the infirmary. Also, depending on the circumstances, it could affect a person's honor or status. In some cases, it might leave you unable to work or fulfill societal roles. So if that happened to your king or a leader or a lord or the head of an army or something, this literally could ostracize you and your people from the rest of the kingdom, impoverishing yourself because you can't do trade anymore. So crazy.
You know what else we don't talk about are those poor bastards in trench warfare during World War I and even World War II.
Yeah.
That were hit between trenches. Like not trenches, but like the trenches, like the halfway point between the enemy trenches and Allied trenches.
The rise.
And nobody can get to them. And then they just have to lay there with bullet wounds and shrapnel wounds for days until they die, while, by the way, being eaten alive by rats, because rats were rampant in the trenches and everything and on the battlefield because of the corpses getting eaten alive, just laying there slowly dying while rounds continuously flew and mortars exploded around you and knowing nobody's coming to get you.
Yeah, imagine this scene. You're running toward the enemy. You're making a brave attempt out of the trench. Walk, you get hit. And you go down, but you're like, ah. So you try to turn around and you're trying to army crawl back. Walk, you get hit again by a stray bullet. And then now you just get to lay there with your bum facing the enemy. And all you're doing is taking non-lethal rounds. Thump, 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 thump.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, like some errant bad aim, puts another round into your back leg or your butt.
And it's cold. You're laying in the mud. And it takes 3 days to die.
Oh, that would be the worst.
That does make me think about something. I've been watching this show called, and this is completely unrelated, but I want to talk about it because I enjoyed it so much.
All right, fine. If it's unrelated, that's
right, perfect
go ahead.
for the call.
No, go ahead.
We have been talking about medieval times for the last 15 minutes. Some of my favorite 911 calls that we've ever covered on the show came from medieval times.
Mine too.
When you can hear the metal clanking around in the background while they're trying to get help on a steed.
You're going to see the correlation here. You're going to be like, but this is master.
I'm not, though. And that's the fucking problem. So, yeah, they would just cut them and bleed them and
stabbing.
Stabbing.
Crazy. We're back on track. Okay, so here's another thing bringing us to the fore of the topic at hand. The history of humans trying to fly with wings. Now, in ancient mythology, you've got Greek myths like Icarus and Daedalus. They would craft wings from feathers and wax, and they would try to fly. And in some cases, they did it really well. And
and he flew close to the sun.
They flew too close, and then those wings, they melted and they fell to the earth. Fast forward to the medieval and Renaissance experiments that happened, and you have a bunch of scholars who attempted to design winged apparatuses and apparati, ornithopters and helicopters. Leonardo da Vinci cranked out some stuff that is next level that I don't even think we're still using in our technology in the day of fighter engine pilot jets head out on the edge. Nicka, nicka, nucka, nahi, nahi, nahi.
Yeah.
17th to the 19th century, things start getting a little better with the experiments and stuff. You've got limited success, though. Ornithopters, they're still trying to crank those out from Leonardo's time. But in 1842, for example, an inventor named George Cayley built a successful model ornithopter. Although it wasn't capable of carrying humans, it flew. It flew. It was like a helicopter. Imagine a helicopter and a butter churn turned into it had a baby. That's what an ornithopter is. It just like kind of humped itself.
Now, when you say flew, I think you mean it hovered for like 6 seconds.
Yeah, but nothing to date had done
What year
that.
was this?
1842. It kind of just had an umbrella and it humped itself into the air. It was like, and then it would just kind of hover there.
Yeah, just
yeah. I mean,
I was 16 years old at one point.
You could survive a fight with Mike Tyson better than a flight on this thing. But early 20th century, we know how that goes. 1903, you got the Wright brothers, you got a bunch of things. You have fixed wing. That's when things start really rocking and rolling with fixed wing airplanes. Yeah. And then modern times, we're all about danger zone. Head on nothing else. Danger zone.
And we've covered the history of flight now, as well as medieval warfare.
Yeah, and the guy that did the Danger Zone song, also did the Pooh's Corner song for the Winnie the Pooh movie.
Right.
So that guy's got range. Fast forward beyond titanium and carbon fiber wingsuits. We are literally now suited with wingsuits, and we're flying wherever we want, as long as we can get 10,000 feet in the air. We're flying wherever we want.
Yeah.
Like if you jump off a cliff.
Flying this one right into the fucking ground. That's what we're doing.
And that leads us to
Kobe.
Wow. That leads us, please forgive Kent's constant tangents. That leads us to the etymology of the word chubby. So you're probably all like, yes, finally. The term chubby, which is often used to describe someone as slightly overweight, it appears to have originated around the 18th century, which would be the 1700s for those that are keeping track on a calendar. Likely, it comes from the term chub, which is a type of freshwater fish known for its plump, round shape. Now, Kent knows this because if you go in any bait shop in the South, you'll see like a...
What the fuck is going on, man?
You'll see like a wriggling chub.
Are we talking about fish now?
The use of chub to mean short.
This is absurd.
It dates back to the mid 16th century.
Of course it does. Let's
it
talk
was
about
influenced by the fish's shape. Yeah. So using the word chubby to mean short and thick first shows up in literature in 1791. Now, remember, language is... I think it was a book about fish. All right.
Fuck,
so that leads us to today.
Let me try to download it. I'll get a PDF of it.
Now, here we go. On June 3rd,
God damn.
exactly 11 days ago, this is how we've blasted through the past. We've read some books. We're now in the future.
All that led to this phone call.
We're happy.
All of it led to this one phone call.
June 3rd, 2023. Madison and her mother were enjoying an evening at Mr. Chubby's Wing Restaurant.
You should start writing for TCK.
This came together so well.
What's the address? What was there 100 years ago?
This is... This was like the longest...
Fucking stupid.
This was the longest con I've ever played.
I hate this show.
Ah, dang it. Oh, no, I missed a part, though.
I fucking hate this show. I quit.
Wait, oh, crap. I missed a part. Wait, did I already mention... ads?
We haven't talked about the Ottoman Empire yet.
Here's an ad, and then we're getting to this show. Okay, we're back. Some may say you never went anywhere. Like in the store. We didn't. On June 3rd, 2023, Madison and her mother were enjoying an evening at Mr. Chubby's wing restaurant. Full circle.
So I just want to say, so the reason we learned about the fish was because of the word chubby in this restaurant.
Yes.
And the reason we learned about the history of flot.
Yes.
From the fucking Wright brothers was because this restaurant has the word wing in the name.
Yes.
And you just threw in medieval warfare for the fuck of it?
No, I didn't. We have to understand. They were out with a restaurant with a friend, Casey Estep. Now, this is fresh. Remember, this is 11 days ago, so let's have a little bit of respect. Understanding the individuals involved in this incident will help us. So our focus falls on Madison Shemitz, a 17-year-old Ponte Vedra high school senior and rising softball talent. Her ex-boyfriend, Spencer Pearson, oh, man, I feel like the journalistic integrity that I'm blown away at myself. I blow myself away.
What integrity?
Spencer Pearson was an 18-year-old recent high school graduate and former football player. When you're a high school graduate and a former football player, how former are we talking? Like junior high, elementary? The questions remain. Yeah. They're central to this unfolding tragedy, though. So their relationship had ended actually a few months prior with Madison's older sister, Tatiana Crusetta, revealing that Pearson had been threatening Madison's safety post-breakup. Now, consequently, their mother, Jackie Rogue, was in the process of obtaining a restraining order against Spencer. The situation escalated very quickly when Madison, her mother, and friend Casey Estep encountered Spencer at a restaurant 11 days ago. Alarmed by his presence and his history of threats, they swiftly left, only to be intercepted by Pearson before reaching their car. In the days leading up to this incident, Rogue had reported Pearson to the police, detailing his concerning behavior. Pearson had allegedly been stalking Madison, leaving notes on her car and harassing her on social media. Even after being blocked by Madison, he was suspected of creating fake accounts to maintain contact with her. Rogue also reported...
This is little dick energy.
It could very well be. The mother also reported Pearson's mental health struggles and his suicidal remarks. All right. So, a bystander named Kennedy Armstrong intervened when they saw what was happening as he brandished a knife and began stabbing everyone.
Did you say everyone?
Yes.
Oh. That's where medieval warfare comes into play. I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is a little bit of a 1,000-year reach, but
full circle.
If you say so, my friend. Oh, it's a good thing we could enjoy such a hard laugh in what is likely the most recent 911 call we've ever covered on the show. These people are still in the hospital.
Believe it or not, at this restaurant, there were multiple 911 calls that made their way to the stream waves. that day. That's 11 days ago. So I'd like to play those now with your permission.
No. This has been episode 113.
Cue credits. All right, here's the first one. Buckle up,
Hit me with
Buttercup.
it, fucking daddy. Put it in my little hole.
What is this?
911, what's the address of your emergency?
Somebody just got stabbed.
What's the address of the emergency, ma'am?
Oh my God, it's at Chubby's Wings on A1A.
Chubby? And you
See,
said somebody
Chubby?
got stabbed?
Somebody just got stabbed right in front of Chubby's.
Okay, don't hang up. I'm showing you at 150 A1A North.
What's this address? Can you track
150
me?
Valley Circle. I'm going to get the fire department on the line.
Oh my God, he's sliced open. Oh my God, there's more people injured.
Okay, ma'am, don't
Fire
hang
rescue.
up. Transfer from the county emergency for 150 Valley Circle. She's at Mr. Chubby's Wings, advising that somebody was stabbed.
Okay, fire rescue's on the line. Can you tell me about their condition, ma'am? Are they breathing?
He is, but his hand is completely just, somebody put a tourniquet on him and somebody else is on the ground and his whole hand is completely sliced open. He needs ambulance right away.
Okay, ma'am, the rescue's already on the way. You said there's another person involved also?
Is there someone on the ground over there? Oh, the guy's trying to kill himself. He was stabbing a girl. He's like, this guy just comes, I don't know what has just happened.
Okay, so
Somebody's on the ground and he's trying to stab himself.
are there two
then
patients,
somebody else
ma'am, or just one?
They're trying to get the knife out of this guy's hand. I don't know. I'm with my kids. Somebody was training him and getting the knife out of his hand.
Okay, all right. Okay, ma'am, and this is at Chubby's?
Yes.
All right, well, we've got the fire department on the way out there, ma'am. Just keep everybody away from it, okay?
Ma'am, did you still have the knife?
Yes, somebody's getting it out of his hand right now. Girl,
Let
you get
me
over here.
know the moment it's out of his hand. The subject was stabbing himself. What does he look like? White, black, Hispanic, Asian?
He's white. He's white.
Okay.
I have my
What
kids
color
with me,
shirt is
but-
he wearing?
Can y'all see what color shirt? I have my kids with me. He's over there. What color shirt? What color shirt is he wearing?
I have no idea. I just walked up.
I don't know. I have my kids with me and I'm
Okay, I don't want you to put yourself into any situation, but if you're able to see a clothing description so we can
No,
at least
come over here.
identify who he is. This is not stopping anything. Help is already on the way. Okay?
Yeah.
If we could get a description
I'm
of
on the
him
phone with
if
911
possible.
right now.
All right, so
Can
we've
you
got
see what color
a
shirt he's wearing? I don't know.
Okay, who's the victim? You said there was someone on the ground.
Well, he was over here. He saw this guy the guy was trying to, so there was a fight and
Okay, how many victims do we have?
there's, 2 victims. And
One of
one
them,
kid,
is the suspect, ma'am?
yeah, no, 3, there's 3 victims.
Three
There's
victims
2
total?
victims and, I'm sorry, there's 2 victims and one, the guy who was stabbing.
So, but there's 3 patients.
Well, 2 patients and one, the guy who needs to die. I
Okay.
mean, the one that's like, I don't know.
Does anybody else have any more weapons?
No, it's just the one knife.
Did she say the
Has
guy
anyone
who
been
needs
picked
to
up on the
die?
roads that you know of? Cops are on their way.
Not that,
They'll be there
no, not that I
momentarily.
know of. Not that I know of, but they literally just walked out and like
Who
we
walked
were
out?
sitting here eating. Like this nice family came out and had their to-goes and then all we heard was screaming.
So they're outside. They're not in the restaurant.
Oh, they're outside. Oh, I see the ambulance. I hear
Inside
the
or
ambulance
outside?
right now.
Like the inside, the
Outside.
outside, like behind it or
Yeah,
in front
they're
of
outside. They're on the outside of it. You'll see them from A1A.
And the suspect is also on the outside, ma'am?
Yes, they have him contained, and I think they took the knife out of his hand.
it? Okay.
And then the
No to
guy who was
alcohol or drugs,
completely,
correct?
not that I know of, and the guy saw this happen, and he came, and his hand is completely torn apart.
So we have a 4th victim.
Girl, that's the 3rd. Girls, come sit down, please.
So a passerby tried to intervene and help,
Yes,
and he got assaulted as well.
yes. He got his hand completely. 911 is on. I'm on the phone with 911 right now. Okay, fire rescue
Okay.
just got here.
Okay, don't hang up. I need you to tell me your phone number.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you're willing, I know you have your kids with you, but if you're willing, feel free to stay, but you do not have to. Okay.
Well, my husband's over there and I have my kids, so.
Okay. As
Oh,
long as you can stay
so the fire
separated with your
rescue's here.
kids and your husband.
Oh yeah, no, we're
speak-
safe.
Okay.
Yes,
Feel
we're
free to
safe.
stay with your kids, and then if your husband is willing to speak to law enforcement and advise what actually happened.
Yes, and we have the victim here with, okay, he's going over to fire rescue right now.
Okay. You'll see the units pulling up. They're coming. They're on Palm Valley pulling in now.
Okay.
All right. Just
I'll stay on.
be on the lookout for them. All right.
Yes, the fire rescue's here.
Yes, ma'am.
I hear. Okay, I see the sheriff. I see
Yes,
the
ma'am.
sheriff.
They're pulling in. Direct them if you can.
Yeah, they're turning around because it's.
I
Oh
got
my
them coming
God,
from
girl,
both sides.
Are you okay?
I got one on A1A and I got one on Palm Valley. Just direct them where they need to go, okay?
Okay, there's one sheriff. Here's
You
another
said
one.
he was
he's going
contained
over.
outside?
Yes. He's over here. He's over here. He's on this side. They have him on the other side. On the other side.
Okay. Keep directing them, okay?
Yeah, they're going up to the scene.
Brandy,
right
you
now.
did great. Take care of your kids right now. All right?
Yeah, excuse me.
I'm disconnecting the line.
All right.
Now, what I'd like to say after that one is, I guess before I say anything about the call, I just need to remind everybody in the backdoor access that just talking about the last really good episode of Sword and Scale in the comments is, I was going to say hurtful, but the last one was really good. So if you haven't listened to it, go check it. Go check it out. Go check out Sword and Scale. I'll even go right now. But back to the call.
I like to think that this woman is placing this call while eating hot wings and looking out the window.
It seemed like in my mind, I just expected her to like a visual of her on like one of those little merry-go-rounds in the playground where she can't really see what's happening because it's blurring by her. So like it seemed she was drunk on wings, maybe.
Yeah, and I've been wing drunk. I know how this call feels. You've got sauce on your fingers. It's on your face. This is happening. You've got a drum in one hand, a phone in the other. You're watching a stabbing. I lived in Jacksonville, North Carolina. I know I've been in a wings and on the phone call with the police scenario before. It's a lot to take in.
You just described perfectly my favorite Bible painting by Rubens in that I found in our old Bible.
Right.
That picture.
Okay. Right.
Speaking of stabbings. So,
what's the correct way to eat a drum? Or I'm sorry, a flat. A flat.
Throat. I'll just use the word throat. I think the more muscle training you can get in the back part of your throat, the more thorough
No, you're wrong.
Removal of all meat and tendons. Jess is saying move on. She's saying I need to know this. She says,
yeah, she was like, how do you eat the flat?
She's doing the hand gesture. She's like, yes, please give me answers.
Separate the bone, grab it, spin it inside the meat to de-meat it, pull that bone out of the flat, and then grab the end of the other bone and using your fingers, pull the meat off. And then you just have all of the meat and everything. You can just throw that in your mouth. And that's how you eat wings while calling the police. Yeah, I got to do that. You got to do the shoulder thing with the phone. But that's how you eat flat. Because eating flats is the hard part when calling the police. The drums are easy. You can eat drums and make and call anybody.
You can. Yeah, it's true.
But the flats.
Jess is putting nail glue in her eyes. I think that's a sign we need to move on.
I'm just saying, you don't want to you can't talk to your tax guy while eating flats.
No, because you need the hands to.
Drums, that's for newbies.
Now, so if you felt like that call didn't give you a lot of meat on the bone, this That was in the script. Jess just punched herself in the head. Did you see that? She's like, oh, punched herself in the head.
And I want to kind of add something to your thing about medieval warfare.
Yes.
She's leaving. Okay. So back to what we've got going on here. This lady's called, this young man is attacking a mother and a daughter.
Yes.
And this fellow has jumped in. I don't know if they said his name yet, but his name is Kennedy Armstrong, the fellow that jumped in to try to help here with the hand injury.
Yeah.
While she's on the phone, the little douchebag that tried to do this violent act is trying to commit harikari.
Mm-hmm.
With they haven't said, how big is the knife?
32 inches.
Are you serious? Or did you just say a number? That's not a knife. That's a sword.
Standard blade length.
32 inches?
I'm not quite sure. Oh, it didn't say chat. I believe ChatGPT got that part wrong. But moving on. So, yes, Kent.
I'm just trying to figure out the size of this knife because this guy's laying on the ground trying to kill himself with a knife. And that's strenuous.
All right, you look that up while I play the next 911 call, because that's what this show's about.
Okay.
On this tragedy. Here we go. 11 days ago, people.
911 location of the emergency.
I am at Chubby's in Ponte Vedra Beach, and there is a stabbing that just occurred.
At Chubby's at Ponte Vedra Beach?
I'm just going to stop really quick and say that is really hard to try. Okay, let's do. I know people are like, oh, you haven't done enough role play. We're going to do a role play really quick where you try to be serious and use your location. And you're at Chubby's, and I'll be the 911 call operator. And you have to see if you can be serious when you say, okay, so here we go. Ready?
911, this is the operator. Where's the emergency?
Yes, we're at Mr. Chubby's Wings. Mr. Chubby's out in Palmetto.
It's so hard. You can't say that and be taken serious. Like you. Oh man. Anyway, back to the call.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I think I'm getting fire rescue online with us as well, okay?
Okay.
Next door connecting to call advisor at Chubby's at Ponte Vedra Beach, and there was a stabbing. Okay. What's the address over there?
Oh, I'm so sorry. What? Oh my God.
Sir, hold on. You said this was at...
I'm showing it 150 Valley Circle.
I believe that's the address. Yes, ma'am.
All right, you said somebody was stabbed?
Yes. I just pulled up to the parking lot. This gentleman was attacking two ladies and stabbing himself.
Okay, sir. So I just want to confirm. You said he's stabbing himself?
He attacked the ladies and he is now attacking himself.
All right, we're getting an ambulance over there for them. And do they have injuries? Like, were they stabbed also?
I believe, yes. These two ladies, I think they're hurt. Yeah, they were slashed as well.
Okay, I just want to confirm. Do they both have injuries? Like, were they both stabbed or
Yes.
just one? Okay.
Yes. It's good.
So where's the knife now?
I believe it's in the gentleman's hand.
Okay.
We're trying to suppress him.
Well, would you guys be safe? I don't want anyone getting hurt over this.
Oh. Okay, yeah, you guys need to come quick.
Yeah, we have units coming out there as fast as we can.
Okay, yeah.
Is he still fighting people?
Under control.
And we don't want, if he's trying to stab people, we don't want people to try and contain him. We don't want anyone else to get stabbed because of what he's doing. What type of knife was it?
I think it was just like a little pocket knife.
A little pocket knife? Okay.
Yeah, like a switchblade.
In case he does run, can I get his description? Is he white, black, or Hispanic?
He's a white and male, dressed in all black, with black hair, maybe about 6 feet tall.
About how old?
His name is Spencer, you know.
Spencer?
Apparently, yeah, the gentleman's name is Spencer. I don't have a last name.
That's fine. About how old is Spencer?
He looks to be about in maybe like anywhere from 18 to 20, maybe a little older.
Okay, so we do have multiple deputies working the way out there. Where did he cut himself? Can you see?
His neck.
His neck?
Yeah, he split his throat. Yeah, he's bleeding pretty bad, man. Like, I honestly don't know if he's gonna make it.
Virus is working the way out there as well. I see for some of the other notes, someone tried to get a tourniquet. Was that on him or one of the girls?
I believe both.
Both? So is he still fighting since he's with his throat?
No, ma'am, I think he's passed away.
You think he's passed away?
Yeah, he's stopped moving. I believe.
Is he inside or outside of the restaurant?
He's outside.
He's outside? Okay, if you believe he has passed away, if everyone could just stay away from him, just kind of keep a area around him, because we're just going to need to try to preserve that scene if we can.
The lady that he assaulted is kind of next to him. They're trying to work on her.
Sure.
Yeah. The lady.
And so we are going to stay here, just so you guys know.
Absolutely.
Sir, are you able to tell me about the injuries on the two females, like the extent of the injuries that they had from the ambulance?
I think she was stabbed in the chest.
Okay. What about the other female?
I can't. He was splashed across the forehead.
Wait, we don't know. What you just said to me.
As we have multiple deputies work out, they're coming up. Let's see here.
Okay.
They are coming up Paul Valley Road right now. So we should have someone coming up shortly. Do you see anybody?
Yeah.
Our battalion keeps pulling up on.
That's your time? Okay.
Okay, yeah.
All right, the deputies are right behind him.
Okay.
All right, would you please call real quick, sir? Can I get your name?
My name is.
And is this the best number to reach you if we need to? All right, I'm going to let you go. You can talk to the deputies when they get there, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now we're inching toward a little bit more of a visual on. I'm not laughing at the call. I'm not. Jess texted me earlier today at 7:12 a.m. and she was asking me a question about something I've got a lot of knowledge in and experience. And she was like, please share your knowledge with me. And I was like, okay, I will. But I just saw it while we were recording. So I responded to her, I'll fill you in later, currently recording. And back to the call. So this call fills us in a little bit more. So to date, that dude's hand is messed up.
Yeah, said it cut ligaments and tendons.
Yeah. Which also you might think, oh, well, that might be the best way to get all the meat off of a wing. And you'd be right. Here's another call from this episode. This happened 11 days ago. I just want everybody to feel the sense of like how quickly we're getting these episodes out, how timely the news information is. We could probably even do another ad right now. Jess is talking. She's muted. Anyway, I don't know who hates us and who likes me right now, but here's another call from this. Here we go. Okay.
911, where's your emergency? Hi, I believe someone else has to have called by now, but I just passed by Chubby's Wings in Ponte Vedra Beach on A1A.
Yes.
And I think someone was hurt outside.
We do have a call started for that, ma'am. Did you see how many people were hurt?
I saw one person laying on the ground, and I think someone maybe took a knife to his throat.
Okay.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you still there, or did you leave, ma'am?
I was just passing by
Okay.
on 818.
Okay. We do have
someone there.
We are, ma'am. We have a call created, and we're heading there as fast as we can. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
911, where's your emergency?
Yeah, we need an ambulance. We had a kid just slit his throat.
He split his throat?
Yes,
Where
ma'am.
are you?
We're at Mr. Chubby's Wings on A1A.
Mr. Chubby, do you know the address for that?
150 Valley Circle.
Did he cut his own throat?
Yes, ma'am, and then stabbed somebody else.
He cut his own throat, then stabbed somebody else? Did anybody get
Ma'am.
Mr. Chubby's in? Okay, thank you.
I just, first off, to describe this young man that committed this crime with a pocket knife. And this is a machete crime, not a pocket knife crime. If you're going to attempt this, you just look like a dork.
If you were going to successfully attempt it.
If you're going to successfully, this is a machete crime, but not just a pocket knife crime. But describe this young man and woman, the young lady, the victim here, gorgeous. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. Young man looks just like the guy they would hire to play a bully in a Disney High School Musical movie, like High School Musical Part 4, where he plays, but he just looks like a high school bully from Disney.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that's like, you don't fit in here, Rachel.
You almost said the N-word, didn't you?
I was going to say Nelly, but that's not a common name in 2023. You don't fit in here, Rachel. Like that kind of guy, you know. Just really looks like a real douche canoe. He's wearing his Letterman jacket in one of the pictures. Apparently he was a football star. Not anymore. But she was a softball star. And this isn't just... This isn't a pocket knife crime. This is...
It's not.
Also, every time they say A1A, the Ice Cube, the Vanilla Ice in me wants to start screaming, Beachfront Avenue. Girls, we're hot, wearing less bikinis. Rock men love us, driving Lamborghinis, jealous, because I'm out getting mine.
It's Bible time.
You know,
everybody.
Shay with the gauge and Vanilla with the 9, ready for the chumps on the wall. The chumps are acting ill because they're so full of 8-ball. Gunshots rang out like a bell. Grabbed my 9, all I heard was shells falling on the concrete real fast. Jumped in my car, slammed on the gas. Bumper to bumper, the avenue's packed. Try to get away before the jackers. Police are on the scene. You know what I mean?
Sacrament. Bible time.
There was a problem. Yo, I'll solve it. Turn up the mic, play the rest of this, call it.
Check out the Bible. Wow. You've missed all the Bible words that were in that song. Tonight, I was at a family dinner when I realized what time it was and that I had to record an ad before the deadline in a few hours. People at the dinner were like, ooh, you seem so interesting. Who sponsors your podcasts? Humbly, I said HelloFresh is this episode's sponsor, and many nodded in understanding of the quality of the HelloFresh meals that they've eaten at my home when, like the ad, I'd forgotten they were coming over, and I quickly prepared a full meal in 15 minutes before they got to my house. The rest of the dinner party gathered around, asking me questions here and questions there about HelloFresh. I felt like a celebrity or a sponsor of HelloFresh for a minute. It was a great feeling. I told them about how HelloFresh is just that, fresh. They send farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes right to my doorstep. They said, you don't have to go to the grocery store anymore? And I said to them, what's a grocery store? They laughed. One person who was probably jealous of me said, but how do you afford it? You're a podcaster. And I said, it's affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit, Janessica. The crowd fell silent. They leaned in, wanting to know more. I said, look, guys, this summer, HelloFresh is there for you to take the work out of eating well. I pointed to the health nuts in the room and a few people who will die next year unless they heed the next words out of my mouth. I says, guys, you can reach your goals with delicious calorie smart and protein smart lunch and dinner options, plus new vegan recipes too, I said to the vegan. I looked down and saw all of the kids gathered at my feet. They looked hungry, and they longed for the food of knowledge. I said, I'm sorry, kids. I don't have any knowledge to feed you, but I do have some HelloFresh snacks. One child exclaimed, HelloFresh Market has new snacks, meals, and more to add on to your weekly order, like their fun s'mores bundle for the kids? I said, Brixton Lee, they do. And you can even get them in Utah, where your parents live. As he ran off to tell his parents in Utah, I brought the meal mallet down, knowing that they were hanging on my every word like a caramelized onion on the HelloFresh bratwurst bar dinner option. I gave them this final word of advice. Go now. Go to HelloFresh.com/91116 and use code 91116 for 16 free meals plus free shipping. Someone in the back yelled from the crowd, can you repeat the offer, the vanity URL, and the promo code? So I said again, go now. Go to HelloFresh.com/91116 and use code 91116 for 16 free meals plus free shipping. The crowd cheered. The dinner was over. I saved money and still had some bratwurst to take home. You can too. Get 16 free meals from HelloFresh. Think of it as like 16 free meals from me if it helps, but plus free shipping. Let's eat. HelloFresh. Hugs, everybody.
Did he freeze? Oh, no, he's still there. So yeah, dude looks like a douche. She's gorgeous. This is he was using a little bitty pocket knife. Apparently, he's still in the hospital. The hero Kennedy doing well. Everybody survived. The end.
So I wanted to, just for anyone that's still listening that didn't leave us during Kent's tangent, I have one more call that kind of ties this whole thing up.
Oh.
But thanks, Kent. I appreciate that. All your information. Here's another call.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Fire rescue.
It's County with a transfer. 150 Valley Circle. Mr. Chubby's wings have a report of a male that's cut his own throat and he's stabbing other people.
Okay.
We're headed that way.
All right. Ma'am, this is fire rescue. We're getting help on the way. Stay on the phone with me, okay? I'm putting out the call right as we're talking.
Okay.
Engine 1, Rescue 1, Battalion 1, stabbing 150 Valley Circle at Chubby, 1632. Okay. Is he still conscious and breathing?
Yes, he still has the knife in his hand. He's trying to slice himself still on the throat.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Oh God.
All right. Has he stabbed anybody else?
He did stab another woman over here.
Yeah. Send a second rescue.
Oh.
All right. Ma'am, we've got them
Oh my
coming, lights and sirens. Okay.
Be
What about
careful.
the other woman? What can you tell me about her injuries?
She's been stabbed on her abdomen.
Okay. All right. Is she conscious and breathing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So go ahead with your question.
Ma'am,
Hold on a second, ma'am. Sheriff's office is still there, okay?
ma'am, can I get your name?
Okay.
Honey.
Okay. Have you seen this person before?
No.
Okay. What's the last name? Okay. All right. Is he still fighting everybody?
Yeah. They're trying to get the knife away from him right now.
How many people are trying to get the knife from him?
Just one.
And what does he look like?
Young male. Teen. White. Dark brown hair. What color shirt? What color shirt does he have on? They're headed to you as quick as they can, ma'am.
Black shirt.
Okay, are they still struggling to get the knife from him?
No, they got it away from him.
Okay.
Hey, they got the knife away from him.
What's he doing now?
He's just laying there in the grass.
Okay, and what about his injuries?
It's pretty extensive. He's bleeding a lot. He's still breathing though.
Okay.
We're on the phone with him right now. They're on the way.
Is he breathing?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to drop off with you. We got a couple more callers. I appreciate you calling. Okay. Just stay back, and then the deputies may want to get a statement from you. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate you calling.
911, where's your emergency?
Yes, I am here at Chubby's in Ponte Vedra, and this boy has just stabbed a girl and has slit her throat, or his throat.
Okay, are you at 876 A1A North?
8761 North, ma'am. What is the address?
150 Valley.
150 Valley Circle.
150 Valley Circle?
Yes, ma'am. We need an ambulance, like quick.
Okay, I'm getting him on the line with us. Don't hang up.
Virus.
Here's
Yes.
150 Valley Circle. Mr. Chubby is advising someone was stabbed.
Okay, caller. This is fire rescue. What can you tell me about injuries?
I said the girl has stabbed the other girl in the back, and he is steadily slicing his throat.
Okay. I've got them on the way. And how is that person conscious? Are they still in an
Yes, both
altercation?
of them are conscious. Both of them
Okay.
are conscious.
Okay.
It's
I do have them coming. Real quick, let me get your callback phone number in case you get disconnected.
We need an officer quickly because
Yeah,
is unhinged.
Okay. Sheriff's Office, we are coming. We're going to be staging for you if you have questions for her.
Ma'am, where is he on the
Yes.
property?
He is on the side of the road with a knife, steadily cutting himself, and he's near the victim.
Okay, they're
And
coming.
I understand. And he's trying to stab other people.
A1A of A1A North, correct?
Ma'am?
He's on the side of A1A North, closest to where
Yes,
you are.
a guy is trying to take his knife from him, but he is fighting. He's really, oh Lord.
Okay, is the knife the only weapon?
I'm sorry?
Is the knife the only weapon?
As far as I can tell.
Okay. How big is the knife?
It's just a little pocket knife or something. I don't know exactly what it is. Truthfully, my like really bad.
They're coming. I understand. They're coming as fast as they can. Okay. You
Yes.
don't see any other weapons.
Stay awake. Stay awake. No, as far as we can tell, no. No.
Okay. How many people are stabbed?
Yeah, 3. I think a boy got his hand stabbed or sliced or something.
Okay. All right. They're coming. Okay.
You know what? There was a lot more to the call, but I'm going to stop it here.
Yeah, it's just they're saying the same thing over and over and over.
Well, what makes me mad is everybody's like, "Oh, you guys talk so much," and there's not. Well, isn't this about 911? I go to the effort to bring a bounty of 911 calls, and then Jess is in the backdoor access saying this is the worst. So much editing to do. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to proceed. You know what? So let me give you the wrap up then. I guess everybody Spencer Pearson attempted to kill his ex-girlfriend and stab her mother 15 times before attempting suicide by slitting his own throat. The knife was a pocket knife. I don't know how many of you know this stuff by now because Kent kind of
We can cut that out. Fuck it.
Blew our wad. Madison Shemet. We're not cutting anything out. Madison Shemitz and her mother are still recovering from the horrific attack. That makes sense. It was 11 days ago. like Kent said, just this is disgusting. Tragically, Madison has been left paralyzed, though, due to damage to her spinal cord. But her family remains hopeful that she'll walk out of this hospital that she's in.
And I'm sure this little weasel will walk away with all his facilities. Hopefully right to prison. And when I said bully, he looks like a bully. I mean the jock bully, not like
punk bully.
What was that bullies and Doug? Roger.
O'Doyle.
Not like the Roger slick back hair bully, like the jock bully. You don't belong here, Nelly.
Which redheaded bully was it in what movie where he had to eat a handful of his own pubes?
That was Scott Tinnerman Must Die episode of South Park.
It also happened in a movie, like a kid's movie. Anyway, Pearson has survived.
There was a kid's movie where he had to eat a handful of pubes. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he was. I think it's O'Doyle Rules, whatever movie that was from. I think he ended up having to eat a handful of his own.
That was Billy Madison.
Really? I don't think so.
O'Doyle Rules. Thanks, O'Doyle. And then they get run off the road because of a...
Yeah, Day in the back door access says it was Billy Madison. I didn't believe that until she said it. Definitely a kid's movie, though. Yes, you're right, Olivia. Pearson survived his self-inflicted injuries and was charged with 2 counts of attempted premeditated murder and 1 count of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon causing permanent disability. Now, this is an unfolding case, so we will update you as he goes through the court system.
Yeah.
Jess just gave the look like, oh, good, I need to hear more. Jess, don't worry, it's coming. Also, let me just full circle you on this one. I am about to play a happy ending. Here's what's weird. We've heard this one before. Now that, well, we don't do that on this show. We don't regurgitate. We kind of keep things very precise. Like the last calls you just heard, there was no redundancy in it or anything.
We don't keep any fat.
This call you've heard before.
Okay.
But I'm playing it again because it was in the early stages of 911 calls. And I have a follow-up.
Okay.
On this story now. So here is the happy ending for this episode. Now.
Okay, ready for this one? A man in Farmington is in big trouble tonight for dialing 911.
What a story this is. Listen to this. He called police to ask them how much trouble he could get in because he's growing pot at home. Well, the police had an answer for him, a pair of handcuffs. News 8's Jamie Muro on the scene in Farmington with that story.
911 dispatchers here in Farmington get a vast array of calls on a daily basis, but Thursday night they got a call that can best be described as, well, a little different.
911, what's the location of your emergency?
Let's not get into that yet. It was 8 o'clock Thursday night when Farmington Police Dispatch.
I have a question. Is this an emergency, sir?
Depends. Received a most unusual call from 21-year-old Robert Michelson.
Is it life-threatening or an active crime in progress?
Crime in progress, possibly. No robberies, burglaries, or home invasion. Robert's query was about cannabis. I was just growing some marijuana. I was wondering how much, trouble you get into for one plant.
It's a first. Yeah, I can't say I've ever had this happen before.
Depends on how big the plant is.
It's only a seedling.
Possession?
Didn't take long for a call to go out to narcotics officers who arrived at Michelson's house on Waterville Road and find a small amount of marijuana and some drug paraphernalia. We made a visit as well.
I just didn't know if the family wanted to issue any comment. No, they're really having a difficult time. Okay. And
you're a friend of the family?
I am a professional. He did tell officers that he did it because he wanted to make his mother angry.
As Mr. Mickelson walked out of this door after he was processed and was heading home, he had one more message for dispatchers, but he didn't say a word.
He spun around and stuck both middle fingers up at the dispatchers.
All right. Thanks for the info.
You're welcome.
Goodbye. On the scene in Farmington, I'm Jamie Muro, News 8.
Now, that episode, that came through on an like a very old episode. How old, you ask? Here, let me give you an idea. I reached out to Robert Mickelson. January, February, March. March 22nd, 2020. I reached out to him over 3.5 years ago, almost. I said, hey, man, we do a podcast called 911 Calls Podcast. Brilliant name, eh? And we came across your 911 call about your pot plant. Could we call you and get a quick interview? These were back in the days where I was trying to get interviews, where I didn't realize that you didn't have to do work to have a podcast, and call you, get a quick interview, maybe tell your side of the story. That way we see it. You're probably a hero to thousands of kids out there. We would love to chat with you. And then nothing until June 11th. That's 3 days ago. 2023. This dude responds.
And I like this dude already, because this is exactly how I am on all messengers.
3.5. Also, 3.5-year-old message. What? He's like, oh man, was he catching up on all? Anyway, okay. So here's the backstory. He says that he did call the cops on himself. He was feeling suicidal because a girl called him a creep. So he did some sleeping pills, drank some old brandy, and then made that call. He ate a couple of hot dogs, felt like slitting my throat. Then I put the plant down the food extinguisher, which I'm pretty sure.
I mean, that this guy isn't doing well still.
He might have slit his own throat or during this text. He put the pot plant down the food extinguisher, which I think is the disposal unit.
Yes.
He says, only got 25 hours of community service for having a bowl with resin. 2 felonies operating a drug factory and felony drug possessions were dropped. It was that stupid bowl paraphernalia charge. You heard it here first, people. That's why you listen to this show. The hard-hitting, non-redundant, to the point. Robert, we hope you're doing well. 4 days ago, you said, so I'm saying you're probably still recovering from your, I don't have anything else. This episode is fully funded by Kylie B, our Apex level lifetime member on 1159 Plus. Kylie took the plunge. I feel like took the plunge. That sounds like something they say on one of those like call-in shows where you're trying to get money for your radio show. She took the plunge. She's from Australia, and she took the plunge, and she's paid the $1,500 lifetime access fee for all 1159 media content moving forward. Yes, that's true, BYU boozer. Comment in Patreon where he's like, you're going to have to refund her money when the second coming comes in like 8 years. And I was like, yeah, I know. I got her on speed dial for that. So Jesus shows up. I'm like, boop, 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 bank refund. But for the next 8 years, she's going to get more than that, probably. Kylie, don't worry. And we're making her stuff. We're putting it all in a box. We don't know what else to say except for thank you. I don't want to overstate this. Other people can join the lifetime access at 1159 Media for $1,500. Now, if you think that's too much, you can save almost all of that money and reinvest your money into our top tier, Super Soup, right below the Apex tier for, if you find it on a deal, if you find a discount, it could be $16 a month. If you find it on not a discount, it's $18 a month. You want one? Send us a message. help@1159media.com. We might hook you up. I don't know. I feel like I've been talking a lot, but I know
you have.
You got, yeah. Should we just,
I don't know if this is the best episode we've ever done or the worst. just as the worst.
This episode is brought to you by 2 doses of methylphenidate. Forgot I took it at 7:30 this morning. Took another one about 10 minutes before this show kicked off.
I guess.
Does anybody else taste purple?
Thanks for joining us. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened here this time.
Friggin' hugs, everybody, I guess. That's all there is left to say.
Goodbye.
Hugs, everybody.
Bye.